Hey, what's up, people? This is Ike Love. I'm creator and author of the blog, The Viable Alternative, which is an inspirational blog where I share the wisdom and insights gained along my path of becoming a greater, stronger version of myself. I do my best. I don't always, sometimes, I go the opposite direction, but I do my best to become a greater, stronger version of myself. I fall short of that. But anyway, yeah, if you want to if you want to read more on this blog and you're on YouTube, you click on the window where it says show more. And you'll see the link for www.theviablealternative.com. So this message for those of you who have been on the path, their own path, pursuing their goals, their dreams, their ambitions. You're pursuing the life you want to live, and for some reason, you're grinding hard, you work hard, you try your best to be very self-aware, to see your faults, your flaws, your weaknesses, and you try and work on them, towards achieving your goals. You take action, but for some reason, you just haven't really found any success. And it's not even beyond just like, one day you're going to become successful. Just keep on trying. There's something else going on. You're facing like a lot of different blockages, and you can't seem to overcome them. And when this happens, and take it from me, because I know, you're forced to call yourself stupid, or I'm just stupid, I can't seem to overcome these obstacles, or you think maybe you're on the wrong path, maybe I chose the wrong path, or you think you just don't have any talent, and this is just not for you. You think you just should give up because the signs are pointing to the fact you just give up because, you have other people who have less talent than you and they're having more success, and it's just like these frustrating obstacles you can't seem to overcome that are getting in your way. You just think that maybe it's just a sign that God is telling you that this is just not for you. Now, people like you are different from those people who are they're pursuing a goal and they're pursuing a dream, and they're just in fantasy. They're fantasy. They're more focused on the glitter and the bling and the the surface stuff of the goal and the dream. They're not really into the core essence of it. They're into the shallow stuff of it. Or there's those people who they're pursuing a goal and a dream, and they're failing because they don't really take responsibility. They're stupid. They just refuse to learn from their mistakes. You know what I mean? They're fools. Or they're just lazy, or they just don't, they're irresponsible. They're all these things, and that's why they're failing. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people like you, those of you who've been on the grind for a long time, and you just cannot seem to overcome certain obstacles, They're just some big stumbling blocks, and then people are looking at you marveling like, how is this person who's so talented, so intelligent, so, motivated, wise, pour on the positive attributes. You're all these things, yet you can't seem to have any success. You're just having lackluster or mediocre success. Like, what is going on, Well, I'm here to tell you, for those of you who identify with this, number one, you're not stupid. Number one is not because you're not talented. And I'll even dare to say, actually, your lack of success is not your fault. It's your responsibility, but it's not your fault. And I'm going to differentiate to you why. Your lack of success is due to the fact that there are deeper issues going on in your life. There are deeper issues going on in your life that you're not aware of, that you seem to be overlooking. And these deeper issues are controlling you from behind the scenes, It's like a curtain is drawn and you don't see what's behind the curtain. You just see the effect. You keep on going one direction instead of going the other direction. You keep on going in the direction that is not good for you, but you go in that direction anyway. It's like there are certain behaviors that you're not supposed to do because they are directly in opposition for you having success towards your goal. You're not supposed to do it. You have common sense, You can list your faults and you'd be like, if I can get over this, this, and this, and this, I'll be able to, go forward and become successful. But each time when you are confronted with that choice of going this direction, something's compelling you to go in that direction. And it's like, this is force that's just like driving you in that direction. And no amount of willpower, is capable of bringing you to the opposite direction of bringing you to the opposite direction of where you shouldn't be going. Like, it's like when you come down to these behaviors you can't overcome, it's like you become in a trance and you just completely go in that other direction. And even if you go in the right direction for a little while, something draws you back in a direction, and it's like you say 50,000 affirmations, you read books, you just can't seem to overcome it. You just can't seem to overcome this friggin' stumbling block in your life, you know? And again, it's not because you're stupid, it's really because you're misinformed about other things that are deeper within you that are going on. And what I have to say is a lot of times, most of the times it goes back into your childhood. I finished writing a book, but I'm reached a point in therapy where I'm doing a lot of now regression work with my inner child, because I've had this problem. For 9 years, I just found out now, because I've actually gone back in the book that I finished, and as I've gotten more insights into therapy, I've kind of had to go and add stuff to the book. But just to explain my situation, for 9 years I was in a mental hell where I just had no direct control over my mind. It was like something else had seized my mind. It was a vice grip of my mind, and I couldn't think clearly or make use of my thoughts to, like actualize a certain goal or endeavor. I was constantly trapped in my head, and I would hear all this inner critic would constantly beat on me, and I couldn't escape it. It was like I wasn't hearing voices in my head, God forbid, but I just was stuck in this pattern, and it was like I couldn't escape it. There's just some force who sees me, make me think a certain way, and I could not escape it for years and years and years. There's many times I was suicidal because I just thought there was no hope. And slowly through spiritual cleansing, and then after that therapy, I slowly started getting out of it. But there's still aspects of me that are still trapped in there. I'll tell you, the reason why I'm still having problems with my money is because I still have a part of me that's still trapped in there. So I reached a certain point in my therapy now that I'm getting to the root of these things, of what's been going on. And as I did some of my own personal research outside of therapy, I realized that I was trapped for 9 years in something called complex post-traumatic stress disorder, where which is triggered. It's more than just PTSD. It's because PTSD is usually one triggering event, but complex post-traumatic stress disorder is actually something that comes from repeated trauma over and over and over and over again. And I actually went through repeated trauma as a child. You can read my book. I talk about it. And some triggering event happened to me in my early 20s that made all my past cast up to me and imprisoned me in that like whole traumatic state where I was like transfixed in this for like 9 years. And there were certain behaviors I would do that were like, again, in opposition of where I need to go, but I just felt compelled to do it. Why? Because there were certain emotions in me that made me feel compelled to go in another direction. And I followed these emotions because I felt I needed to follow these emotions because it was like a life or death situation. I felt that I needed to go in that direction. It's like, and why, what is happening, relating back to you, these emotions that are pulling you in the opposite direction of where you need to go come from your childhood. As a child, you went through certain emotional wounds and trauma. And as a result of these emotional wounds and trauma, and just the emotions, you responded in a certain way that was beneficial to your survival in that environment you were being raised in. The ways you're responding now to your emotions now that are destroying your success were actually ways you needed to survive in your household. The problem is that we never, like, the danger is gone now, but we're still engaged in that same behavior, For instance, now fear. You have fear now that shouldn't be a big deal. Maybe you fear your mother, fear your father. As a child, it's a legitimate fear because you're dependent on your life and death, on the life and death you're dependent on your parents for life and death. So therefore, you have to behave a certain way. You have to choose a certain way to survive in that household, But the problem is number one, we forget we adopted that behavior. We're not aware of it anymore, and we're taking an adulthood, and an adulthood is destroying our success. So what I want you to do now is to you have to start to get in touch with the emotions that are driving you, compelling you to certain behaviors, and then try and learn, look into where that behavior originated from. And you now have to understand that the reason why you're engaged in these behaviors as an adult is because at certain times when you're making the choice to go in the opposite direction or to react to the emotion, you're not being the adult anymore. You're being that little wounded inner child. As far as you're concerned, you're not you. You're that child, and that child's behaving in a way that that is best for him, not best for you 20, 30, 40 years later. So what I learned now is you have to, number one, connect with the child, and number two, you have to slowly coax a child into seeing that it's not in that environment anymore, so you can proactively choose better choices for yourself that will enable you to have the success you seek. So, what I want to say again, it is not your fault what happened to you as a child. You were completely helpless as a child. Not only were you beholden to your parents for survival, but number two, you didn't have a fully formed mind. You had a limited view of life. Not to also mention, as a child, you think the whole world centers around you, that just you're the world, and so you take everything personally. So again, you can't be blamed for the decisions you make that are holding you back years later. Okay? A lot of our parents effed us up. They effed us up. But frankly speaking, they have their own childhood wounds to heal from. They did the best they can with the tools they had. It may have been a crappy job, but again, they did the best they could. So yes, it is their fault for effing you up, but it is your responsibility to take what you learned and make whatever they left you with and make something of it. It is your responsibility to take the lemons you were given and make lemonade out of them. All right? It's your responsibility to take whatever crap you had and to use it to fertilize the soil to grow that whatever unique flower you're meant to grow from that specific soil using that manure, So, yeah, please, from this time, if you're one of those people who really, like I said, you're in the right path, but you can't seem to have success in life, you can't seem to overcome these obstacles, stop putting yourself down. You're not stupid. You do not lack talent. You are not ignorant. Well, you're ignorant of the past because you're just not aware of it. You're ignorant in that sense, But you're not stupid. You're not dumb. You're not useless. You're not you're not talentless. You're not wasting your time in the wrong path. It's just that you're just certain things you're not seeing. It's like you're not looking behind the curtain. You're just looking at the curtain. You're not looking behind what's behind the curtain. And I think if you start to look at these deeper issues, you're going to be surprised at really what was holding you back. There's certain things now that I look now when I'm actually being able to see a little deeper about decisions I was making, and I say to myself, as I get, as I examine now what I've been doing, I'm like, wait a minute, why the hell am I thinking that this is the end of the world? This is not the end of the world. Yeah, as a child, I thought it was the end of the world because I was in my parents' household, but this doesn't mean the end of the world. So why am I still behaving like it's the end of the world? And I'm slowly learning to use tools to assure the child that, no, this is not then. You don't have to listen to that person then. We're now in the present. So I hope you can take this information and use it now to undergo your own transformation, so that you can change your perspective and change your emotional state so that you can now begin to proactively achieve the life that's on your heart. So I hope all this helps. If you want to read more of my blog, go to www.theviablealternative.com. If you want to follow me on Twitter, thankfully I update a lot more than my blog. Go to follow me at theviablealt. And also, if you like what I have to say in this video, please click on like, leave a nice, warm, tickly, funny, fuzzy comment, and also subscribe. And as they funnily say, I love when it's smash the subscribe button. Anyway, what else? Yes, I hope all this helps. Please start to look under the hood in your life and start to just, look a little deeper into stuff, if you they say that madness is Einstein said that madness is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Start doing something a little different. Start looking a little deeper, and you'll be surprised at the breakthroughs you have. So anyway, I gotta go. I gotta find me some plátanos and eat. So take care. God bless. Anything else? Peace.